Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a filing that might just spark some fireworks or maybe just a tiny pop depending on how you look at it. Get ready because we're about to decode Cayson Accession Corp's latest move, and let's just say it involves more than just your average merger. Before we dive in, if you love getting the real story behind company filings without all the corporate jargon, make sure you're subscribed. And for those of you who want to chat with us about these deep dives and get even more insights, our Discord community link is right there in the description below. Alright, so we've got Cayson Accession Corp, a company that's essentially set up to buy another company. They're filing a Form 8K, which is like their way of shouting out new important announcements to the world. And the big news here, dropped on August 15, 2025, is about them teaming up with Mango Financial. So Mango Financial, a company involved in financial stuff, decided they're going to jump into the digital currency strategy. Basically meaning they're going to start using cryptocurrencies in their business. This is a pretty big pivot for a financial company, and it's definitely a sign of the times. Now, Cayson Accession Corp, which they sometimes call the SPAC, is actually going to merge with Mango Financial Group Limited through a series of steps. Think of it like Cayson is the vehicle, and Mango Financial is the destination they're trying to reach by merging. This whole deal is called the business combination. Cayson Accession Corp actually has different pieces of its company trading on the stock market, like these things they call units. Each unit seems to be made up of one ordinary share and one right. Then there are just the ordinary shares themselves and these rights, which give you a claim to a fraction of a share. These are all traded on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC, which is a pretty big deal. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. Cayson Accession Corp is calling itself an emerging growth company. This means they're a newer company and get some flexibility with reporting rules, kind of like a training wheel situation for their public reporting. They've elected not to use the extended transition period for following new or updated accounting standards, which suggests they want to keep up with the latest financial rules, even as a newer company. This section is all about disclosing important information that everyone should know at the same time. So as we've been talking about, Mango Financial put out a press release on August 15th about their new digital currency strategy. This is the main event of this filing. The companies involved are planning to file more documents with the SEC, specifically something called an F4 registration statement. This is a big one, as it will include a proxy statement to get shareholder approval for the business combination. Think of it as the official invitation to the shareholders to vote on whether this big merger should happen. It will also contain a prospectus, which is like a detailed brochure about the new shares that will be issued. This part of the filing is basically a heads up that the people running Cayson Accession Corp and Mango Financial might be considered involved in asking shareholders to vote yes on this deal. They're letting everyone know that more details about these individuals and their interests in the merger will be shared in those upcoming documents. It's all about transparency, making sure everyone knows who's trying to get this merger approved. This is a standard disclaimer. They're making it clear that this communication isn't trying to sell you anything or ask you to buy or sell shares right now. It's just providing information. They're also saying that if you're in a place where local laws might say otherwise, this information isn't for you. It's a way to cover their bases legally. Now, this is a really important section in almost every filing. They're talking about forward-looking statements. These are essentially educated guesses or predictions about the future. They're using words like anticipate, believe, expect, and plan to describe what they think will happen with this business combination. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. These aren't guarantees. They're listing a whole bunch of risks and uncertainties that could mess things up. For example, they worry about whether integrating cryptocurrencies will actually work out for Mango Financial. They also mentioned the risk that the SPAC shareholders might not approve the deal, or that the whole merger might not even happen. Another key risk is whether the combined company will be able to stay listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. This is crucial for their stock to be traded easily. They're also flagging potential problems with general economic conditions, unexpected legal issues, and even just the general uncertainty that comes with announcing a big deal like this, which can affect business relationships and operations. They are upfront that this list of potential problems isn't everything. They're telling you to look at other documents they filed, like their initial registration statement, for even more details on what could go wrong. They also make it clear that they aren't promising to update these future predictions if things change. It's a classic look at all the things that could go wrong section, and it's really important to pay attention to it. This is the final part telling us what extra documents are included. The most important exhibit here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual press release from Mango Financial that announced their digital currency strategy. That's the piece of news that triggered this whole filing, and then there's Exhibit 104, which is just formatting data for the filing itself. And finally, the signature. Yabe Sao, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Cayson Acquisition Corp, has signed off on this report, confirming that everything in it is accurate to the best of their knowledge. Now let's get down to the brass tacks. What does all this mean? Cayson Acquisition Corp is essentially a vehicle to bring Mango Financial to the public markets. Mango Financial is making a bold move into digital currency, which could be a huge opportunity or a major pitfall. The success of this merger hinges on shareholder approval and Mango Financial's ability to execute its new digital currency strategy smoothly. The risks they've outlined, from integration issues to market volatility to simply not getting enough votes, are very real. They're betting on the future of digital finance, but they're also acknowledging that the road ahead is anything but certain. We'll be watching closely to see if this venture pays off or if it blows up in their faces. Alright, that's our breakdown of Cayson Acquisition Corp's latest filing. What's your take on Mango Financial's dip into digital currency? Do you think it's a genius move or a risky gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out and shows us you want more of these deep dives. And of course, subscribe for more corporate decoding. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description to join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.